Hello, are you out there? It's Mark with Redo Over, and we are back to our Galactic 4 in-depth tutorial playthrough. So we left off essentially trying to assume the Taurians here. You can see we're the blue, Taurians are green. We're roughly splitting the sector. Now, the Taurians and us were in here with the Yor. We conquered the Yor. Our Terrans did. So we essentially have a big leg up on this other sector here. We have the Altarans, we have the Navigators, and the Festron Hunt. They're kind of competing with each other in sort of a three-way tie, but because we've eliminated the Yor over here, our two civilizations have grown to the top of the tier list, although we're far ahead. Ultimately, if we can defeat the Taurians and take the entire sector, we'll functionally win the game. Just because the rest of these won't be able to do anything against us. You'll also notice the Altarians, the Navigators, and the Festron are pretty similar in power parity to each other. They're all within about 20% of each other, so they're in a tight three-way battle. So I was saying, what? Let's just look around. I know we had a constructor ship we're trying to get up here, and we have a few various flagships scanning anomalies, capsules, and whatnot, space junk, all throughout our sector. We're gobbling those up as quick as we can. I also see, for some reason, my flagship is sniffing around this goddamn precursor anomaly. What are you doing there? You're going to get annihilated. Oh, no. Oh, no, don't do that. That's bad. And I see they've been damaged, 19 to 30. Oh, wait. That's not mine. That's Altaran. That's all right. They can die. Let them get destroyed there. That's wonderful, actually. So, ship idle. Ico's fleet. We have the flagship Victory in there with a small frigate. So, as I have surplus smaller ships in the game, I usually will start assigning little fighters or frigates to my flagships, just so that they have more survivability. And they just makes them more functional in a combat situation. If you suddenly go to war, your flagships are out there dispersed around the sector. They're not going to get picked off one by combat groups that the enemy civilization you just went to war with might send out after your flags. It's a really easy way to lose flags. So, yeah, it would make sense that we start grouping up as many of our flags with small ships as possible. So I might start focusing on that. But yeah, the Victory needs another anomaly to sniff out. We can go grab Taurian space, or we can sort of start doing a sweep back through our controlled space, which I think I will do. We have a trade offer coming through from the Taurians. They're offering us a few credits and a cultural treat. And for that, they would like modules, Durantium, and plasma beams? Nope. Why? That's horrible. But cultural treaty gives a 50% growth to influence growth per month to both civilizations through the sharing of culture. It's going to help them as much as it would us, so I don't see a benefit to that. You know, interestingly, one sort of hard thing to understand about galactic civilizations is that there aren't multipliers per se. I'm going to reject this. Now, if we were running at a 2 times multiplier on all of our influence over the Taurians, and when we said we will take a 15% bonus, and they got 15% to their 100%, and we got 15% to our 100%, and then multiplied that by 2, we would gain a 30% bonus, and they'd only gain a 15%. Making a deal like that would make sense, but the percentages are additive, then multiplied onto the base number. So for quick instance, let's jump over to Earth. We'll go into Earth. We'll jump down to culture, to influence down here. So you can see the planetary base. This is influence growth per month, is an input of 1. Down lower, we have certain is an input of 2. Down lower is our governor, giving us an input of 8. And then down even lower are 10 scientists, giving us an input of 7.4. And below that is cultural inputs of 15.68. You add all those numbers together. That is essentially your base. Then you add all the percentages together. So a 10 plus a 10 plus a 52.5 until you get some big number like 320%, and you multiply 320% by the base. So if we were to go into that culture agreement with the Taurians, it would just give us a flat 15% added in with all these other percentages. But the Taurians would get the same amount, so they would functionally get just as much good stuff as we would. Yeah. Now, the only place where that might be different is where you have a true multiplier on top of everything, such as with manufacturing here. All manufacturing is totaled up the same way your influence is, except it is then multiplied all at the final number by your approval rating. In this case, our approval rating on Earth is 69%. Okay. 69.3. So if we knew that the Taurians' approval was much lower than ours, which maybe we could suss out over here by looking at approval. We're first, they're not. So we could sit there and say, well, we're going to go into a manufacturing or a research treaty, but we know that their manufacturing and research are directly at the macro level modified by their approval. That's right. Both your research and your manufacturing are multiplied, whatever your final total is, by your approval. But that happens in the end. The way we know that is when we mouse over this, approval's at the top, and it does not sit in the bracketing tree of manufacturing. That tells us that tree structure is telling us that the manufacturing calculation is done through the brackets in the tree below it, but then that total is what is multiplied by the X 69. It's so cool. It's so cool that it's that number, you guys. Yeah, so what else is that way? Research has an X, and again, based off approval. Income also has an X, actually. The percentage symbol, ultimately by saying your tax rate is, it's saying times 0.33. Or if you have the 50%, it'd be times 0.50, depending on whatever your tax bracket is. So yes, your tax rate is a true multiplier on top of how you calculate your gross income. Yeah. What else? Food. Yeah. Food is multiplied by... Nah, food's not multiplied. It's modified by your pollution. I can see like the minus 17%. But I don't think there's any special... It's just 12 food. And then you take negative 20.6%, multiply that in. So that's not the same. And then growth? How does growth work? You got all your modifiers tacked on there with the pollution at the end. Yeah, I don't think pollution, as it affects food and growth, is an overall multiplier on the top. And I think it should be. I think you should multiply whatever your population growth and whatever your food production is by the amount of non-pollution you have. So it should be like X, in this case, minus 17, I think it should be X 83 times 0.83. And that's how I would do it. Because otherwise, reading it this way, just your natural league score alone of 12.6 functionally washes out all your pollution. You still have the population boom, the genetic manipulation, the fertile, the minister. The only input there I see is the actual 9 humans. So in that case, pollution seems to have a very small effect on anything. Phooey. Yeah. I think the closer you can get your pollution to 0, the closer you get to a 1 times multiplier. That's how I think they should rework that. And then finally, influence. Influence doesn't seem to have any overarching modifier to it. But everything else does. Taxes for income, approval for research and manufacturing, pollution for food and population growth, although that's not really a true multiplier. So that's my take. Okay, where the hell did we leave off? We rejected the Taurians trade deal. We're going to advance the turn. He looks kind of pissed off to me. Incoming message from the Taurian regime. We're finding that our trading relationship is building a sense of trust between our people. Awesome. They don't like it that we have our warships in their space gobbling up their anomalies, but we have an open borders treaty, so there's nothing they can really do about it. Research completed. Fusion power plants. Fusion has proven to be a remarkably difficult technology to master, having stayed just out of reach for scientists for decades now. Oh, dare I say centuries. But this time we've finally done it, and our manufacturing will greatly benefit. We've gotten the fusion power plant, which is a bit of maintenance, takes a lot of AMAT to get it going. Wouldn't it just be an AMAT reactor, or are you using little like micrograms of antimatter to facilitate fusion, sustain a fusion reaction? That must be what they're doing, because it ain't an antimatter reactor. Am I right, guys? Okay, I think we all get it. Maintenance 1, a big manufacturing boost of 20%, big pollution hit of +5. The nice thing about this, though, is that it is clean. Bonus per level gives you a chunky 2.5 manufacturing with no additional pollution. So it adds some pollution, but it is fixed. Yeah, that's pretty good. And adjacency bonuses, check this out. Manufacturing, military, and research +3. Those are big numbers. Now, I don't like that that's just a civilization achievement. In the fiction of the story, why? You should be able to make a fusion power plant on any world. It's just my take. But it's not a bad building. We'll get it landed somewhere. So, I know we were talking about digging into culture. I want to start going down the culture tree here. It's going to get us just interesting upgrades probably for approval and stuff, but it's going to get us influence growth as well as just some base culture points. So let's do it for 3. We'll jump into the cultural outreach and let's check down here. Galactic Bazaar real quick. We've got some harmony crystals, a little bit of nanoites, Monsantium. Is there anything we can sell off? Not really. We never got a really great handle on strategic resource production. I think because resources are set on the game we started as uncommon, I think is where they're at. So limited amount of resources altogether. But that's fine. I don't think we're lacking anything for buildings right now. Let's just double check on Earth, make sure I'm not forgetting something. Epimetheus pollen for the Temple of Whispers. We are not generating Epimetheus. Arnor spices. We are not generating spices. Okay, so there are things we need. AMAT we've got, although we could use more, but we can buy that anytime we want, though, so don't sweat that. Just going to scroll through real quick, see if there's Promethean we can buy. Durantium we can buy. Durantium. Wow, you need a lot of Durantium in this game. We're so lucky we grabbed that Durantium deposit from the ore, FYI. So yeah, I think we're good on strategic resources. How is this guy doing? He's going so slow. You are the slowest gosh darn ship in all of creation. You little dummy. You little... Sorry. Just okay. Ship idle. Shipyard idle. This is the Kratos ship. I think we're doing pretty good on our supply ships. We're not working on a galactic building right now. Let's just jump out. Let's go to our planets. Housing, planetary center, housing, planetary agriculture. Yeah, we're not working on a galactic achievement, so I think we're good on supply ships. So let's go back to our Kratos 2 store base. I say we build up a few more military ships right now. Again, I'd like to send these cutters out, the cutter M53, to join up with our flagships around. So let's put one of those in the queue, and actually, how about a second set in the queue as well? Oh, we are out of Illyrium. What's our Illyrium generation rate? At 0.7? Okay, I don't really want to buy any. That's enough for now. We'll let it sit at that. And let's jump over to our Star Shipyards tab. We've got the Cutter, Defender, Cutter. So we actually have quite a few ships in production. We don't have a whole lot of modules in production. I see we have some. We need more Durantium, probably to put a lot of those to use. But let's get some of these shipyards, these idle shipyards, working on modules, since we seem to be coming up a little short on those. There you go. And we've got many supply ships floating around. Who do we want to help out? I'm going to mouse over. They're wrapping up these planets very shortly. Oh, how's Earth doing? At 1? Geez, a lot of our planets are just 1 away. So I'm actually going to sleep these ships. We'll pass the turn. How about pass? Pass. Gonna wait for the next set of buildings to come around and see if we can help them out. Who else do we have? There's quite a few planets over here. Kratos 1. They could use help with that agricultural upgrade. So let's send them in there. That looks good for now. And another supply ship en route to Kratos 4? Sure. Do we need it there? Would we rather have the help at Kratos 2? I think we'd rather have the help at Kratos 2. They're 5 away. So let's take that supply ship and we'll crash it into Kratos 2 there. Really speeding along the production. You see, we got both of those. That was 6 and 5 turns. We got them down to 1 each. So that was a nice touch. And we will advance the turn. Taurian regime going. I think the Taurian are really struggling. I don't think there's a whole lot they can do to staunch our growth at this point. I also did notice our territory pushed into their area up in that northeastern quadrant of the sector there. Terran Alliance, we have a positive relationship with you, but the recent military expansion is worrying us. That may be from our warships? Again, I can't quite peg that down, but here we go. Cultural outreach completed. For too long, our cultural efforts have focused on low-hanging fruit, capturing the interest of only the most easily amused aliens. It worked, but by tuning our cultural output to more refined alien taste, we'll be sure to see greater effects. We get quite a few things here. Upgrade entertainment. Yeah, that would just be for entertainment tiles, hexes. We don't really build entertainment. Okay, cool. Information hub. Yeah, this is going to go on the starbase. This we do want, as well as the interstellar exchange. We're going to put both of those on the starbase right here as we try and culture flip these Taurian worlds. Okay, but let's look at the difference here. They're very similar. The information hub takes a Durantium and a module. The interstellar exchange takes a Durantium and a module. So the cost is identical. The information hub yields for 1 maintenance a plus 15 to your influence growth, as well as a plus 15%. That's per month forever, just constantly adding on. Well, the growth is 15 every month, but the influence is a blanket 15. Interstellar exchange is the same. Oh, that is odd. They're identical. They're identical. There's just 2 of them, but they functionally have no difference. Cool. We will do both of them. We're going to need Durantium and modules, but let's go for it. This is what we're waiting for. Our general influence growth. This is coming off of all of our stations and all of our colonies, core worlds, everything, is a plus 2%. It's not much, but I'll take it. And finally, an extra 5 culture points. Yeah, that's nice. Culture is definitely hard to get. And let's go right into the next tier here. This is going to slow us down quickly. We're going to, because these are going to get more expensive real fast, but let's go for the stellar immigration. Done. Now, that means there's a couple of things we want to do. We want to grab this ascension crystal. It's not being harvested yet, so we'll simply cruise to here. We will build that, and we'll make a communications starbase. Yes, please. With a xenoarchaeology lab, build it. Boom, we're harvesting a little bit of ascension. And we have influence growth because it's a cultural starbase. Yeah, so we can start putting a dent into this section of their zone of control. However, it's really far away from the nearest planet. There are no planets here, so I actually don't want to build up that cultural base. I only did it to harvest that ascension crystal. Let's dump our modules into this culture base. Here we go. We come in, and you can see we have the information hub. We have the Durantium. We have the modules, so we will build that. And immediately, the interstellar exchange pops up as the second option. We will also build that. There you go. That's some pretty big ups, though, to the output, the cultural output of this station. I think we're going to see some real fast changes on this. And is that... Yeah. Listen, if they don't declare war on us, I'm not worried about them destroying any of our star bases. If they were to declare war, I always want to have a couple of extra modules available to, at the minimum, add like an advanced defenses platform. It's going to give you some defensive shielding as well as some nice bonuses to attack. So you always want to make sure you have a little bit in your pocket. You don't necessarily want to build up defensive platforms on every single starbase. Like down here, this starbase, we don't want to dump modules and Durantium into defensive things when this is buried at the edge of the sector deep within our space. It's never going to get attacked. Okay, just a bit of strategy there. So idle core world. We're back to Alula Borealis. So Alula is what? Alula is moderately a tourism world. Looking down here, I see they have a good amount of influence going. Moderate amount of manufacturing. But really where they shine is wealth. A lot of wealth inputs. Food is not an issue for us, by the way, so I'm not going to concern myself with that. With this build, this civilization build, food does not seem to be a concern. So do we drill down harder on wealth for these guys? This world is sort of a world where I don't think we had a great focus on it. It isn't really a manufacturing world at all because it only has the one input. It's minerally poor, to be blunt. But we did build the planetary generator, the starport, and the supply depot. Nice trifecta there. We've got our core world capital. We have a planetary recycling center, which helps out with pollution. It's a very polluted planet, which kind of sucks, I guess, because it's volcanic. Yeah, so that's a little bit of offset there. They're growing at a moderate rate with a little bit of headroom. You can see here we got the Kimberley's Refuge in. I don't know why it got there. It did. Who cares? And we've got a little bit of housing district improvements just for population growth. So could we do what? Listen, we have some colonial clinics for growth as well as medical centers for growth. But we're not playing like a Mimit build where we're going for populations into the 20s and 30s and more. We're almost at max pop cap. And I don't really want to sacrifice a whole bunch of these districts for housing personally. But I would say with this massive 10 input, I think wealth could be something that's worth going for here. Now, there's no really good wealth tiles, but let's look at our buildings and see what relates to wealth. Oh, there's a nice tourism building. Actually, kind of like the Infinite Garden. Not necessarily for here. Dude. The Governor's Manor is wealth with a nice +1 to all adjacencies, and it'll have a gross income bonus of 5 per, whatever. We have the trade network. Maybe we could get these sort of jammed in here and build out from here outwards. I probably want to keep 1 or 2 more areas for population growth in the future. But what if we took... So do we need loyalty? We don't really need loyalty. The building's not that good. But I wouldn't mind a little bonus here. See, look, the starport does generate a touch of wealth. Let's put this in right there. I think that will help. And then let's get the trade network dumped in. It's only going to benefit us for wealth, so let's set it right here, and we'll start building wealth all around it. Yeah. We'll make a push on wealth. I am going to save this tile for the time being for potentially additional housing. We'll see if that comes up at some point in the future. But let's start with these two. Then we may do some terraforming. And in general, I'm imagining wealth coming down this way as well as wealth snaking up this way. We'll fill in these terraforming spots as we can. But let's not get too far ahead of our skis. We got 20 turns on this. So although we might speed that along with supply ships. Here we go. Dump that into there. Perfect. That got us down to 6 turns. And actually, Alula is producing modules because... No, that's their shipyard. My bad. Nanite precursors? Yeah, let's dump that supply ship into there. That's what we're saving them for. Idle ship. What do we got here? We've got our frigate done. All right, I want to send our frigate off to join up with one of our little flagships, the Stargazer, right there. All right, yeah, and that's just going to give them some survivability, some hit power, and let's level up the Stargazer now. So she's a small ship, pretty decent amount of firepower between the two of them, which is nice, but Yeah, I would say they need hit points. I'm gonna do the extended reinforced hull. Stargazer is a very thin ship. She's pretty weak, but yeah, that makes her more durable. There, 40 total hit points. She needs to do some repairs. In that defender again, the defender is just kind of going to be a throwaway ship. It's like a damage sponge, but it provides a little bit of extra firepower as well. So let's send her off to survey another anomaly. Yeah, we'll scoot her off this way, and should we send her to repair? We'll gain and repair will gain a repair speed boost and notify you when it is back to full strength. Let's do that. But it does turn off travel. Okay, I don't want to do that. I would rather she repair more slowly while surveying anomalies. I think you can repair while surveying anomalies and traveling. Let's keep an eye on it, though, actually. I'm curious. I'll mouse over the Stargazer here. She's at a 19 of 40. I'm going to try and remember to take a look at that in the next turn. See if she'll repair slowly while moving and surveying. Okay. Ship idle. Where are we at? Right there. So we have the Explorer. She's, again, a small warship. I would love to group her up with something. Yeah, let's move her to here. We're going to keep hoovering up the Torians' anomalies because we're just a-holes like that. Yeah, we're just mean. We don't care. Where can I steal a defensive ship with, though, to go send in and join her? Kratos. Yeah, their approval's a little low. That's why these worlds have ships defending. But we have 2 ships here. Okay, let's do that. Let's steal one of these 2. I'm going to break this fleet apart. We'll just grab the cutter, spit her out. There you go. Now we'll take one of the 2 cutters, dump them back in to help defend. Again, that's for roughly a 5% approval bonus to the world of Kratos 2. And then we will take this cutter, otherwise, and send her to rendezvous with the Explorer. And we have another ship idle. This is the Perseverance. She's a pretty tough little ship. And this is her cutter coming to join her. Yeah, there you go. So that was a plan I had started on even prior to this session. The Discovery is a beefy ship. The Discovery has 99 health. She probably doesn't need an escort. Call them escort ships, but the next one that pops out, I might send her away. But yeah, let's keep grabbing up these anomalies, folks. Where else? Right there's one. Yeah, let's do it. We'll grab all these on the north side of the sector. And then did we push a ship through? We did. We have the Curiosity, moderate-sized flagship. She is going to start hoovering up all these anomalies over here in this sector. There's quite a few of them. We definitely will want to send an escort ship in after the Curiosity. And again, if you look here, we have several cutters coming into production here. So we have 2 more available shortly, which is exactly what we need. I wanted to do what? We have quite a few star bases here in Torian space. I would love to flip a few of these. Are any of these culture, though? Mining, 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 and mining, and mining. Ah, shit. All right, well, can we put culture modules onto these? Check this out. No, we can't. Because the starbase is mining, there's no way to flip it to culture at this point. There's no way to edit that. And none of those culture modules are available. Now, you could get a little bit of influence based off of some of these. Like here, that's a +1 influence growth per turn. That'd be subsumed by the Torian's influence growth. Perimeter scanners would yield a little bit. I wouldn't mind having some eyes in there either. So right now, these mining, star bases have a range of, I don't even know what is this here. Is that it's not telling me. It's not telling me what that is. It's minimal. I don't know what our sensor range is. Maybe like 4 or 6 or something like that. We never really went hard in sensor range, but we could put the one perimeter scanner It'll add a +8 to this starbase's sensor range, and it'll give it a little bit of influence growth. It's not going to hurt. So we'll hit done. And the reason I did that is although the harvesting range of this didn't really change, those sensors are now going to reach out much further, and it'll allow us to see Torian ships moving through this space. Now, we kind of have a picket line. We kind of made a fence, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have a very nice border fence with the Torians. So we can oftentimes see ships slipping through. But by adding the sensors to this station, it's kind of the deepest into the heart. It'll allow us to see what all these ships are doing for, I guess, 8 hexes. Is that what sensor range is? Is it a +8 is +8 hexes radius? That's pretty good range. I like that. What else do we got going on? An event. TAS Explorer Survey Report, Mapping Artifact. During the thorough analysis of the artifact, your research team has unearthed an astonishing discovery. It is a reservoir of colossal energy. The scientists in your crew are confident they can channel this raw power to propel our civilization forward. Yet, a dissenting perspective suggests that this energy could be utilized as a cosmic key, opening up uncharted dimensions of the cosmos and revealing secrets of space hitherto unknown. So, word I've never said IRL in my own conversation is hitherto. I've never said hitherto ever. Interestingly, there's some words that are like that, where they're in common parlance, but they're just not part of your vernacular, right? I don't say hitherto. Why the hell would I say hitherto? All right, harvest the artifact's energy and gain a valuable durantium, or store the artifacts so you can use it later to gain a distant vision charge. Yeah, I want the durantium. Take the durantium. There we go. We are very lean on durantium, although we generate a mass of 2.3 per turn. That is nice. I wouldn't mind beefing up this starbase, but we don't have more harvesting capability now, so that's as good as that's going to get. We have another event completed. This is another survey report from the Stargazer. This is identical. It's identical to the last one. Durantium again, we'll take it. Sweet. And another event. This is the Perseverance. Mysterious energy source. Your flagship detects an unusual energy signature coming from a nearby asteroid. Upon investigation, the crew finds a stable and potential energy source that can be harnessed to enhance the manufacturing of our planets. There's only one option, but it's +5 manufacturing to all worlds for 15 months. That's really good. That will really help us get some stuff built. So cool. Next turn. I just saw some Torian ships fly into that heavily defended precursor anomaly. That's crazy that they do that, but they do. And I want to watch this border. Boom. Did you see it jump? That was very clear. We're pressing through here, folks. Now, we should be cautious. There's a lot of defense here. So they have a military starbase right here. They have a small but powerful fleet. And they have additional... Oh, that's an asteroid miner. That's not a warship at all. Asteroid miner with a couple of probes. Those are not military ships. Let's look at the actual planets. A very small fighter craft. And another very small fighter craft. Wow. So although that looks much more formidable than it is, it's not. I mean, the military base I wouldn't want to mess with in this one fleet is not insignificant. We'd have to crack it if we went to war. But the actual shipyards we could take out, and the planets we could overcome their naval defenses pretty easily, I would say, at this point. So we have some idle worlds. This is Iconia. And there's just so much we can do with Iconia. It's a marvelous world. It's a marvelous desert world. If we look up here, what is that symbol? Barren, actually. Not even desert, barren. So for Iconia, I see Iconia is so interesting because it's got a lot of manufacturing, a lot of research, mineral input, tech input, wealth inputs. We've got a nice technology segment down here. We have a whole bunch of buildings. My gosh. And we have a whole bunch of terraforming we can do. I cannot for the life of me remember what it is we're really trying to do with these guys. A moderate amount of influence. Iconia is nestled up very nicely against the Torian, like that little pocket they've carved in there. But what do we really want to do with this world? We need to find really a proper balance more than anything. I mean, we've talked about this a bunch of times, and I don't mean to rehash it, but they have a lot of mineral production because of these damn Durantine deposits. There's 1, 2, 3. They could just do anything and everything here. I could see trying to use a lot of these desert spots to grow up a large population base. Would be interesting. Obviously, we have the big tourism building here. Do we have a world that's properly geared towards tourism? Earth, I guess. Anyone else? Anyone else on the tourism bandwagon here? Yeah, not particularly. No one's really specializing in tourism. Looks like this will be our food production world. If I had to guess. Yeah, or not tourism. Yeah. Yeah, I can do anything and everything with Iconia. Pollution's moderate. People are pretty happy. There's no crime to speak of. We could definitely get some growth modifiers going. Our capital building is in a horrible spot. The civilization capital city. The fact that we're losing these 3 hexes, I don't think we're going to get them back. It's a massive bummer. But yeah, I just keep equivocating. I don't know. I don't know what to do with it, to be just totally honest. Let's get some of these tiles built in. Do we build them around here? Yeah, these are really nice areas. But I could see getting this one, and then we'll have a pretty large monocontinent. Since I can't figure out what else to do with it right now, let's let other colonies develop a bit further, get more pigeonholed. We'll just build this up. For the time being, listen, they're outputting plenty of manufacturing, a lot of research, a lot of income, a lot of it. So it's a good general world because it's a capital world. It's Iconia. What are you going to do? We'll let those build up. I don't think I want to keep delving into research here, though. I'll be honest, but... idle shipyard. This is a Kratos 3. Let's get some more warships built for the time being. I see our modules are going along pretty well. Ship idle? Where? Oh. Siegecraft. Why were we building siege here? What are we going to do with those? Oh, yeah. We're adding to the siege fleet at Iconia. Cool. We'll move them in there. I'll tell you, if we can't culture flip the Tituses, we can certainly siege them. Nothing wrong with being prepared for war. All right. Trade offer coming up. The Altarians are offering us a pretty shitty deal. We get 70 credit and we get starship refits. Nice bonus to move there, I'll give you that. But they want asteroid factories and photonic alignment as well as 6 promethium. No, reject. Hard reject. You guys, no. Advance the turn. I need to look at our executive orders down here. I think we might have something reasonable. So yeah, we got a couple options. We're generating a massive 30 control per turn. It's significant. Let's do a quick pressure scientist. We'll get the cooldown running on that. And then we'll probably want to initiate the invite leaders, but we'll have that next turn. We'll have the 20 we need for that. So we'll get a new batch of leaders through. And ship's idle. We've got another cutter completed. Yep, right there. Perfect. I am going to send her off to join up with the Curiosity. Did that... Where'd she go? Where'd she go? Right here. Is she on her way? Yeah, that's where... Sorry, it didn't map it. It didn't show me the line, so I thought we'd clicked off, but we didn't. We got our executive order pop through. Let's invite some leaders. Yes, please. And we've got a reasonable amount of coin right now, so we're going to go to our leaders tab and see if anyone really stands out. So, as always, I always look for the open book option in gold or yellow, because oftentimes that is complete the next research for free. That's probably the most valuable special you can find on a leader. Not to be confused with the traditionalism book there. But otherwise, yeah. Identical twins. Promotes individualism. Interesting. It's not a bad thing. So is anyone really a standout? Yeah, we got super strong leaders. Really strong leaders. Look at this. 18 social is monstrously high. We have a few leaders that are double digits across all the governing stats or near so. Got some great people here. Pretty high loyalty on a few of them. So let's just take a quick look at our ministry. We could slot in a higher social here. 12, 12, and 13. That'd be well worth doing. Any governors that need to pop out, though? Our governors are actually in pretty good shape. There's a couple weaker ones. But yeah, those aren't bad. A lot of double digits across the boards. I could actually see Jennifer getting swapped out here. Her research and her diligence are lower. She's the only one that has 2 single-digit values. Everyone else is at least into the double digits on 2. So who would be a good replacement for her? Right there. High loyalty. I like that. Let's grab her up. I like that 13 in social is pretty significant. I kind of want to save that 18 social for one of our minister positions. But let's grab Jesse Jan. We'll jump over to governors. We're going to pull Jennifer out of that position for the time being. We'll find something else for her to do. And we will move Jesse in there. And yeah, I mean, I don't higher loyalty, just higher everything across the board. So she's a better fit for that position. Now, let's jump into our minister tab. We definitely want to swap out one of these folks. So let's grab Masako with the 18 social. It's monstrously high. We'll jump in here. And what's the most important thing to us right now? I think flipping culture. And this will be a huge bonus. So let's pull her out. We'll pull out Uluchi. We'll slot in Masako. And that's going to push our influence growth to a big plus 36. That's beefy. Now, Uluchi can replace either Marcy or Sam. I'd say tourism. Let's get that coin up even higher. Our people, well, our people are not actually that happy. We have a lot of approvals that are in the 70s. So let's switch out Sam and get Uluchi in there, and we'll eke out just a little bit more approval. It's not going to hurt anything. That'll help our research and our manufacturing. What else do we want? I can see we have a big 15 research in both of our blue ministerial positions, and no one can touch that. And then let's look at our Orbitals. We have an 18, a 12, and a 14. We have a big 13 here. 13 Orbitals. That's not bad. Let's grab Maremba. We'll jump over and we will pull out RHKR over here, and we'll slot in Maremba. So that is doubled, by the way. So that 1% difference in diligence there gets us 2% extra growth. It's not bad. And then finally, we got a 13 on a resolve over here for WIJH. Can anyone beat the 13? No. No one can beat a 13. That's fine. Now, just looking at the stats here, none of these people stand out to me as being superior governor material over what we were looking at. I don't think any of these folks beat out any of these folks. Yeah. So some of them are in parity, but that's fine. That's fine. Like Jenna Sith here, her name is Sith, which is questionable, but she has very low social, but she has a very high intelligence and a very high diligence. So I'll let that ride. What about diplomats? Yeah, we could push some diplomats in here. I can see we're sliding into the negative with every other species. Commanders. Oh, snappity. We want some free ships. They're not flagships, but they do have specials. Check this out. The Gaze. The Gaze does what? It's a plus 25% beam attack to all ships in its fleet and a plus 5 shields to all ships. So the Gaze is a warship that you want to have at the heart of a fleet. I like that. Hive Base 1 gives plus 20% manufacturing to all worlds in this ship's radius. So this would go in the Kratos, in the Kratos system, because we have 3 planets, 3 core worlds there. So these look like good options. Now, since we know the Gaze, we want to be a warship. We want our best statted diligence and resolve. We're going to put RHKR on the Gaze. And that's going to give big bonuses to... What does that yield here for us? Diligence. You guys aren't going to tell me what diligence does? Yeah, here we go. Resolve is going to increase hit points. Or sorry, diligence increases hit points on a ship. And resolve increases base attack. Very cool. So this is going to be a really powerful ship, especially with this leader on it. And then we have the hive base. Well, let's send our... I don't want an ineffective leader, but yeah, right here. Is there any reason they can't do this job? No, no reason. They're on hive base 1. So let's then go back to our diplomats tab. And who are we concerned about the most? The Festron Hunt is actually quite far from us, as all the Altarians. The Navigators, though, are more adjacent to us, so I will take Jennifer John and put her in as a diplomat with the Navigators. This is why, when I back out of here, you can see this is Navigator space. It directly borders our space. Festron's way the fudge over here. They're not going to go to war with us. I'm not worried about that right now. Okay, so let's go look at our 2 new command ships we just purchased. We have the Gaze. This is our manufacturing, hive base 1. Let's send it over, and we'll just kind of park her in the heart of the Kratos system. You can see her radius circle right here is going to reach out about 1, 2, 3. So we should be able to get all 3 of these worlds. We'll try to. Fingers crossed. But yeah, that'll be a nice touch. At least 2 of the worlds we'll be able to get with her. And then the other ship was the Gaze, which is a warship. Let's send her off to Iconia, because that's essentially where we're building our war fleet. Yeah, our invasionary fleet. So she'll just sit there with them for the time being. Idle Shipyard. This is a Kratos again. I think we got a good amount going with our warships. What else do we want? More modules? Yeah. Let's get a couple more supply ships going. Build a supply ship, and then how about another set of modules and another set of modules? So there we go. We'll intersperse them. Supply ships, modules, alternating. Another idle shipyard. This is Icos. Well, I don't think we need more siege ships. I think we have 4 or 5 right now, which should be sufficient to siege any common planet. That's cool. She can build stuff really fast, though. Icos can. What do? Let's get a supply ship. Boom, boom. How about a couple of modules? And how about 2 cutter classes? Oh. Again, we're out of Illyrium. No big deal. Let's do a quick stagger like that. So we'll do a little mix of those. Icos is crushing on shipyard production. I guess Iconia should, and I'm sure I've said this before, it should be our ship manufacturing world. Why? Let's jump in here. She's got the starport. What else does she give us? What other special buildings does she have? Anything? Anything that improves range, ship movement? Bunch of just sensor range stuff in general. I wouldn't mind getting some buildings in here that would increase movement of our ships and whatnot. I don't know that we have any of those yet. Not really. Well, we'll keep an eye out for them. There are abilities you can get that any ship built off of this world might have improvements. But the other thing to think about is Iconia's modules. Currently, she has the Orbital Academy, which is that plus 50%. Any other cool modules she can make? Not really. We should build something in here, though. Space elevator. Yeah. It's just going to improve her output. And then we have Myra. Has a research lab and a space elevator. What else can Myra do for us? What can you do for us lately, Myra? Planetary beacon, orbital market, sensor array. I wouldn't mind a sensor array just to see stuff coming, but actually, I think Diesel would be the better planet since it's closer to the wormhole output here, the hyperlane output. Yeah, let's do that. Sensor array on Diesel, just to help her see ships coming through this area a little bit better. And then back to Mirror. Is it Mirror? Yeah. Let's get that orbital market. Oh, crap. We are burning through our Duran quickly. Yeah, I think that looks fine. Okay. Ships idle. This is the frigate, the cutter. We want to join up with the... Where was she at? The Discovery? Yeah. Discovery is alone. She's powerful, but let's get her a little backup. escort ship en route. So I think that's all of our flagships have either an escort with them or an escort en route. I'm preparing for war with the Turian. It's going to come at some point. We'll advance the turn. This game's going nice, though. For the size of the sectors, the number of Xenos, I feel like we have a manageable number of core worlds. Sometimes you get up to 20 core worlds, and they really all kind of blend together. But I feel like with this, we can drill down and sort of specialize our handful of core world. One for wealth, one for research, one for ship production, one for influence growth. You get that. They're enjoying our friendship, but they don't like the military presence. I don't know what to do about that, buddy. Sorry, you just keep bitching, but there's nothing I can do. We have 3 hypersilicates. We have the Artocarpus virals and the Epithemius pollens. We do need that. Okay, we have the option to purchase the Epithemius. Let's jump into Earth. We need 3 of them. Yeah. Let's grab that. Oh, I also see a Natural League Center, which would give us growth factor. If we have a world that's dedicated to population, you would want the Natural League to be on it. That'd actually be pretty sweet. But for the time being, let's purchase our 3 Epithemius pollen. We'll jump back into the Galactic Bazaar. We will buy 1, 2. Then we're going to have to sell off a little bit of something. What? A couple Prometheans? Yeah, we don't need that much Promethean. And that's a good price for it as well, actually. And there we go. We got it. We got the 3 we need. Now, where would we put this? Well, not here, obviously. You can't build it on your home world? No, you can. The Temple of Whispers. Make this world the focus of political intrigue. So she will yield us a pretty high construction cost of 645. That's a lot. But we can get it done with some supply ships. 1 maintenance, a +1 diplomacy bonus, which right now would be very useful, and a very big +3 adjacency bonus to influence. This is not our influence world, though. It's kind of our tourism world, isn't it? All tradition. Yeah, we should build this on Earth. Hold on. Where could we put this? We're still building the Ouroboros Arboretum there. Here's what we want to do. Adjacency bonus values here. We get a +1 per gross income out of the Hall of Tradition. That's worthless. Nearly worthless. We get +5% to tourism. And here, we get no extra bonus off of that Ouroboros Arboretum for levels. FYI. So, that tells us that this Xeno Welcome Hub would go best here. And on top of that, she has +1 bonuses to quite a few other things around her. Not population, but wealth, influence, and approval. So, yeah, I think that's a good spot for that to sit. And I actually want to scoot her ahead, that Xeno Welcome Hub, to right after the Ouroboros Arboretum farm. There you go. Boom, boom. Creates a warship. Nanite transmitter. Yeah. I'm going to throw that in there. I want to actually do the nanite transmitter just so we can build it, get our nanite transmitter, and then destroy that to clear out that space there in Central America. Okay, but what else were we looking at? We were looking for a place to build the Temple of Whispers. That's what we were talking about. So let's scroll through. This is our influence world, Kratos 4. We have the Beacon of Babylon. We have the Tower of Endless Night. That's a military improvement. Interesting. But it's got a +2 to all, which is pretty sweet. Could we squeeze the Temple of Whispers right here? Yeah. Yeah. It's a galactic achievement, so I'm going to push this to the head of the queue. I wouldn't mind it right here, because it would buff up this cultural district. However, if we put it here, once these 2 terraforming projects are done, then it gives us adjacency around the Temple of Whispers for additional influence buildings, a lot of them. Or just regular influence improvements on just regular hex tiles if we need to. So that's where that should go. This needs to be slotted all the way to the front. This is our new priority on Kratos 4, is to get that galactic achievement built. And we want to make sure that some of these shipyards, supply ship, and the cutter. And actually, let's jump in. After that cutter, let's get one more supply ship. Is all these shipyards finish up their supply ships, we will dump them into the Temple of Whispers. We'll have it done in no time. It's going to be great. Ship idle. There's another supply ship. Does Iconia need help? No, Iconia never needs help. They build so damn fast. But we can send this down to Kratos 4. There we go. Event. Curiosity, his mysterious missile cache. Your flagship captain reports the discovery of a lost cargo container floating in space. It has an advanced missile weapon prototype, so we can store it, gain a charge of that, or sell it. Yeah. We're broke as a joke, but I would rather have the damn prototype warhead. Check this out. It's a +3 to missile attack. That's considerable. So, what ship should get that? We could definitely dump it on one of our more powerful flagships. The Discovery is our most powerful. It's kind of a kick-ass ship. Yeah, let's dump it onto the Discovery right now. Here we go. Check this out. By far the most hit points of any ship we have. That is helping to boost up her missile attack here. Is sitting at a 15.4. So she has a decent beam attack, missile attack, no kinetic attack whatsoever. But, yeah, she's ready for an improvement. So what do we do with this? The Diablo cast? I think so. We've been sitting on the Diablo cast for a while. It speeds up fire rate for beams, missiles, and kinetics. Yeah, the Discovery is the ship that should have this. We'll upgrade that, and it'll just make her all that much more kick-ass. Eventually, I'll build up more Durantium hull. We'll get her health hit points increased. Not health hit points. But yeah, for the time being, she's in pretty good shape. And I actually want to get her mated up with her escort ship. At the same time, I want her researching anomalies. So let's send her in deep into Taurian space. And then what that means is I need to backtrack this ship right here. Yeah, that's her cutter. Was going to follow this path. We're going to have that cutter rendezvous right over there. So they should meet up eventually. We have another event coming through. This is coming from the Discovery. Pirate scrap. So scans indicate this is the remains of a pirate warship cobbled together from parts stolen from various species into something barely spaceworthy. Well, not anymore. The only unique technology is an environmental shield that allows the pirate to travel freely in nebulas. It seems that they knew what they had, however, and it is set to detonate if it is tampered with. But if we did risk recovering it, we could use it as a ship upgrade. Not bad. So collect the rest of the scrap. We could get 2 Durantium by scrapping the ship. We could get a Promethean or recover the environmental shield no matter the risk. It's a 95% chance of success. Yeah, we're going to go for it. I would bet if something goes wrong, we lose the flagship. That's a serious risk, but we're going to do it. Sometimes you gotta gamble. Sometimes you gotta roll the hard roll number, but the nat 20. I don't know when that's going to resolve, but we'll see what happens. I'm interested now. Here we go. Curiosity wrapped up that investigation. They're just going to move on to the next artifact here. Boom. Eventually, their escort will get to them. Where's that escort ship right now? Right there. We will adjust their final destination to land right on top of the Curiosity. Should be able to get there before the Curiosity is done with that investigation. We have another event popping up. Okay, it worked. The pirate scrap successful. There were 2 separate self-detonation devices attached to the environmental shield. The first was obvious and would have destroyed the shield and anything within thousands of kilometers of it. The second was just for the shield itself and would have fried it badly enough so that it couldn't fall into anyone else's hands. Our engineers catch and disable both booby traps. Good work, engineers. Free environmental shield upgrade. Hell yeah. I'm out of coffee. So you'll notice that is not an actual artifact. What it's probably going to mean is like the Diablo cast. The next one of our ships that has an upgrade, the next flagship that has an upgrade slot available from leveling, we can put that shield on. We'll save it for one of our better warships. Maybe not the Discovery, but one of our ships that at least has either a good attack or a moderate amount of HP. But it's nice to have it. And we'll advance the turn. And I'm going to watch real closely here. I want to watch this borderline. I'll put the mouse right on it, right there. Oh, damn it. It's not going through. Ship idle. Where are we at here? Hive base. Okay. So you can see that Hive Base 1 is stationed here next to the sun, Kratos. And clearly Kratos 1 and Kratos 2 are within this... Oh, God dang, where's the... Oh, it's this circle, the thicker pale line. That falls within it. That falls within it. And this, it's going right through the middle of Kratos 4. So let's look at the 3 Kratos planets, 4 worlds, and see if they're benefiting from Hive Base 1. So let's jump into Kratos 1. We'll look at our manufacturing. Hive Base 1, it's down there towards the bottom, 20%. Awesome. Where's our next Kratos world? Kratos 4. Hive Base 1, got it, 20%. And Kratos 2, Hive Base 1, 20%. Boom. That is a very nice use of that ship to do. There's nothing else they need to do. We will simply put her on Sentry. She'll sit there until something else happens. Research complete on stellar immigration. We need to remove the barriers, legal, social, and economic, preventing our people from settling outside our civilization. This won't be a loss to us, but a gain. An immigration that will help spread our civilization further than we ever could ourselves. We're going to send our people out to help flip cultures. So listen, we get some upgrade on approval tiles. Cool. Again, we don't have any of those. Upgrade culture tiles. We might get into some influence tiles on some of our influence heavy worlds. So that may be valuable. Interstellar Embassy. Yeah, this is more of just the same. 1 Durantium, 1 module, 1 maintenance, but it gives a plus 15 base growth, plus 15% monthly growth. I'll take it. Influence growth across everything of plus 3%. If you recall, the last technology got us a plus 2. So they're additive. We're at a total of 5% extra influence growth. And finally, an additional 5 culture points. I'll take it. Choose new tech. Do we go deeper into cultural assimilation? I don't think so. It's getting very expensive, and we will fall behind technologically. If we drill down into the cost is outsized to what our research burden, what we can take on right now. That's the problem. We could get 8 techs in the time it'll take us to get that 1 tech with all these other options. So we'll stop now. I think the culture flip is moving forward good enough to get those 2 Taurian planets we've been eyeballing all this time. But we do need to go into that starbase, that cultural starbase, and put the module on it that we just gained. So what else do we want right now? We got some good options. Listen, defensive grids, that'll increase our logistics. It gives us a lot of starbase modules, as well as 2 free modules. Kinetic energy weapons, that's not bad. Not bad to not ignore. What else do we have? Mining missions would get us industrial goods. It's just a project. It's a project we can build. I don't really care about that. No. Yeah, let's get the kinetic weapons right now. We'll start with that. We'll work through these 1 research tiers. And where are we at? Supply ship completed, which we want to send in for the Temple of Whispers here. Yes, please. And we got a frigate done. Cool. Cool. Do any of our worlds need approval bonuses? Yeah. Let's have this little frigate go into Kratos 1 here. See if that'll help with her approval here. I don't think that adjusts till the next month goes by or something like that. And finally, not finally, there's 1 more supply ship. Let's go into Kratos here. We're working on the Temple of Whispers. We've got her down to 12 turns. And we have another supply ship inbound. Let's get her in there as well. That pushes the temple down to 9. So we could use another round of supply ships. I got modules going. modules, supply ship. Very cool. That supply ship will help out. Yeah, we're closing in fast. Cutter completed up here, or will be completed. And what is this? The gaze. The gaze is en route. That's right. We're sending that military ship, the gaze, out here to help out. I could see the shield module we got potentially going on to a ship like the gaze. Can you modify command ships? I think so. I think command ships can level and get mods. I think this would be a great ship to build up with that shield module when they level. So we'll may have to get them into some combats with some like space monsters or something. I don't know. We need them to get experience though. We have an event completing. This is religious freedom. Our media is reporting that the Altarians are oppressing a minor religious group that is spreading on their worlds. Many of our citizens, including a few in the government, want us to intervene. But any such action would obviously cause friction with the Altarians. So we have three options. Release a statement in support of the religious tolerance. It's an unknown outcome, meaning that something's going to happen within the Altarian regime that we can't foresee yet. But in the meantime, it would improve our egalitarianism. We don't really care about that at all. Contact the Altarians and ask how we can support them, meaning the current government. This has an unknown outcome. It'll increase our collectivism to 3. We don't really care, and give us 50 diplomatic capital. We're not really a heavy build into diplomacy. And finally, stay out of it. None of our business. This is kind of a bummer because it gives us nothing. It just makes our people sad, I guess. Everyone is sad. All of our colonies are sad for 10 months. Screw that. Let's contact the Altarians and ask how they can help. We'll see what happens. It's a gamble. We don't know. But we'll take the diplomatic capital. Fine. Phooey. Diplomatic capital shows up here. We're actually slowly generating 2 diplomatic capital a turn. I don't exactly know where that's coming from, but whatever. I'll take it. Where are we at? I think that's probably a pretty good stopping point for right now. Oh, before I forget though, let's jump into the space station and build the interstellar embassy. Build it. And this is, getting to be a pretty hefty culture structure. Is there anything else we can do to increase their cultural output? No, not really. Okay. Well, I think that's a good stopping point. Listen, our wealth is in a really good spot at plus 128. Our research and manufacturing are both looking great. We have a huge amount of control we're generating. And obviously, we're running away with the game functionally. Essentially sitting in first place in nearly every category. I can see, though, the Taurians are still scooting ahead with their influence. I don't really like that. So let's do one last thing. We're harvesting Ascension, which, if I'm not mistaken, Ascension does pay directly into the prestige victory. And I can see, in fact, the Taurians are really outstripping us on the Ascension score. They're at 122. We are at 2. So let's take the starbase. We'll jump in here and we will bite the bullet, spending Promethean and modules to get additional Ascension and relic harvesting out of that. Xenoarchaeology, another Promethean, another module harvest. And finally, the Precursor Studies module, more Ascension and more relic harvesting. Boom. There you go. So we're going to gain 10 Ascension per month. That 10 should pump directly into that Ascension score. That'll race us with any luck right past the Terran Alliance. The Taurian Alliance, sorry. We're the Terrans. These are the Taurians. Finally, before I forget, we've got the modules. We've got some Durantium. Are there any... I'm looking for precursor or relic harvesting add-ons. I think we have everything built up as far as it can go. Yeah. Okay, that's good. We'll leave it there for now. Again, this is a cultural starbase, so we could push that forward. But again, There's no planet that's even remotely close to that. So we're going to let that sit for the time being. Trying to think if we should move up a new star base, like say right about here, kind of between these star bases, and make it a cultural one, and try and start pushing that envelope back. We probably should. So the last thing I'm going to do is jump into Earth. I see they're wrapping up on a defender. Cool. Supply ship. Cool. But I want a constructor. We're going to push this constructor ahead of both the warship and the supply ship. On our next playthrough, when those constructors finish, we will find a place for both of them along the border of our zone of control. Because again, we cannot build the star base in their Zoc. But we want to start pushing their Zoc back. And as we make a notch in it, we can put in the next constructor. And I would say we essentially try and do a star base for culture, then another one here, evenly spaced between these two. You can't have them closer than 5 hexes away. And we'll just tunnel in closer and closer and closer towards Toria, Pearl, and the Deep. It'll take several culture star bases, but that'll be part of our strategy. Okay, that's it. If you watched, thanks so much. Take care.